Hello friends, I am Adish Deshpande from Ferguson College. We are discussing ionic equilibria. So far, we discussed common ion effect, buffer solutions, solubility product. So, let's solve one more numerical based on solubility product and then we will discuss hydrolysis of salts. So in the earlier class, we saw two numericals based on solubility product. Let's consider one more numerical. So if 20 centimeter cube of 0.05 mole barium nitrate are mixed with 20 centimeter cube of 0.02 mole NaF, will barium fluoride precipitate out? The solubility product of barium fluoride is 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 6 at 298 Kelvin. So the two solutions are mixed, barium nitrate and sodium fluoride. And whether barium fluoride is precipitated out or not, that we have to find out. So final volume of the solution is, that is 40 centimeter cube. The two solutions are mixed. 20 centimeter cube is the volume of every solution. So total volume upon mixing comes out to be 40 centimeter cube. So what is the concentration of barium nitrate? 0.05 into 20 divided by 40. So concentration becomes half. Volume is doubled. And so concentration of barium nitrate in the final solution becomes 0.025 molar. Similarly, what is the concentration of sodium fluoride? Again, it becomes half, 0.02 into 20 divided by 40. So it is 0.01 molar. So concentration of Ba2 plus ions is 0.025 molar and concentration of F minus ions is 0.01 molar. Now what is the ionic product of barium fluoride? It is given as Ip is equal to active mass of Ba2 plus into active mass of F minus raised to 2. Remember students, if you write the equation solubility equilibrium for barium fluoride, then you will find that numerical coefficient of fluoride ion is 2. And so equation contains as numerical coefficient of fluoride ions as 2. That numerical coefficient appears as power in the expression. And so expression is Ip is equal to active mass of Ba2 plus into active mass of F minus raised to 2. Substitute the values. Therefore, Ip is equal to 0.025 into 0.01 raised to 2. So it is 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 6. Now compare with the given Ksp value. Ksp of barium fluoride is 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 6. So Ksp is less than Ip, that is ionic product exceeds solubility product. And so again barium fluoride will precipitate out from the solution. Now let us switch over to the next part, that is hydrolysis of salts. Now we saw neutralization reaction. So what is neutralization reaction? Acid reacts with base and produces salt and water. This is called as neutralization reaction. For example, HCl plus NaOH gives NaCl plus H2O. So this is a neutralization reaction. Now, if suppose salt is reacted with H plus and OH minus ions of water, and if suppose they produce corresponding acid and base back again, then this may be considered as a hydrolysis reaction of any salt. Remember, whenever salts are dissolved in water, certain salts always possess this ability to combine with H plus and OH minus ions of water and to produce back the original acid and the base. This phenomenon is called as hydrolysis of salts. So, hydrolysis of salt is defined as a reaction in which cation or anion or both the ions of the salt react with ions of water to produce acidity or alkalinity or sometimes even neutrality. So, if you understand or if you remember, then aqueous solution of copper sulfate is acidic to litmus. So if you dip blue litmus paper, it turns red. Aqueous solution of sodium carbonate, it is always alkaline to litmus. And if I take aqueous solution of sodium chloride, then it is neutral. So all these are salts, copper sulfate, sodium carbonate, sodium chloride, but their aqueous solutions, they give difference in their or towards litmus action. The nature of the aqueous solution is different. One solution is acidic, one solution is alkaline, and the last solution is, say, neutral. So why this discrepancy is seen? This is because of the hydrolysis reaction. So cation or anion or sometimes both the ions of the salt, whenever reacted with water, that is H plus or OH minus ions of water, they can produce either acidic solution or alkaline solution or neutral solution, and this whole phenomenon is called as hydrolysis of the salt. When a salt is dissolved in water, cation or anion or both the ions of the salt react with the ions of the water, and very important is equality of H plus and OH minus ions is disturbed. That means if suppose only cation of the salt reacts with OH minus ions of water, what will happen? OH minus ions are only removed and H plus ions are still present, but equality in them is removed. Likewise, when salt is dissolved in water, if suppose anion of the salt is reacted with H plus ions of your water, what happens? Again, equality between H plus and OH minus ions is disturbed. And so, this is the important part, that due to the dissolution or due to the reaction of such cation or anion of your salt with the ions of water, equality of H plus and OH minus ions is disturbed, and therefore you will get different natures of these aqueous solutions of the salts. Now, what are the types of the salts? There are total 4 types of the salts. Salts derived from strong acids and strong bases. Example is NaCl, KNO3, potassium nitrate, Na2SO4, sodium sulfate, NaNO3, sodium nitrate, etc. Salts derived from strong acids and weak bases. For example, ammonium chloride, then ammonium nitrate, then ammonium sulfate, etc. Then salts derived from weak acids and strong bases. For example, sodium acetate, potassium cyanide, sodium carbonate, etc. And then salts derived from weak acids and weak bases. For example, ammonium acetate, ammonium cyanide, ammonium carbonate. So based on the origin, strong acid, weak acid, strong base, weak base, there are total 4 types of salts. And based on their origin, the hydrolysis, the result of the hydrolysis reaction also changes. So let us consider these one by one. Now let us consider first salts of strong acid and strong base. So let us take the example of sodium chloride. So sodium chloride, is a salt of strong acid HCl, hydrochloric acid, and strong base NaOH, sodium hydroxide. So whenever it is dissolved in water, it dissociates completely into the ions. Remember students, in this part, we are dealing with all salts which are completely soluble in water. In the earlier part, we saw the part which are sparingly soluble salts, another part of the salts which we saw. So now in this case, as far as hydrolysis phenomenon is concerned, we are now considering all completely soluble salts. So whenever sodium chloride is dissolved in water, it dissociates completely into the ions as NaCl aqueous gives Na plus aqueous plus Cl minus aqueous. Now in this case, ions Na plus and Cl minus have no tendency to react with water. That means Na plus, neither Na plus nor Cl minus ion can react with the ions of water, that is H plus and OH minus ions of water. This is because the possible products NaOH and HCl of such reaction are strong electrolytes and dissociate completely in the aqueous solution. So if Na plus ion reacts with OH minus ions of your water, what is the product? Product is NaOH. But NaOH is a strong base, so it dissociates completely. Similarly, Cl minus ions of your salt reacts with H plus ions of water. What is the product? Product is HCl, but HCl is a strong acid. It also dissociates completely. And so, the ions of the salt, upon a reaction with the ions of water, if produces any weak acid or weak base, then that reaction can be considered or that reaction can occur, because weak acid or weak base so produced or obtained cannot dissociate completely, and therefore that gives us a difference in the nature of the aqueous solutions. As far as this case is concerned, NaOH and HCl, corresponding acid and base, both are strong, and so they dissociate completely in the aqueous solution. So if suppose the ions Na plus and Cl minus react with water, what can happen? The equations are given. Na plus aqueous plus Cl minus aqueous plus H2O gives HCl aqueous plus NaOH aqueous. These are possible products which further dissociate completely, and in the second equation, HCl plus NaOH plus H2O reversibly gives H plus aqueous plus Cl minus aqueous plus Na plus aqueous plus OH minus aqueous. So I can cancel these Cl minus and Na plus ions from the two equations. And what remains? What remains is only H2O. And therefore, the reactants and the products are same. And so this implies that neither cation nor anion of the salt reacts with water, or there is no hydrolysis. If cation or anion does not react with water, then we can say that there is no hydrolysis, and therefore equality of H plus and OH minus ions produced by ionization of water does not get disturbed, and therefore if you dip blue litmus paper and red litmus paper, both will remain as it is. The result is solution is neutral. Thus, salts of strong acid and strong base do not undergo hydrolysis. So this part you have to remember. So this is applicable for all salts which fall under this category, that is salts of strong acids and strong bases. You can take any other example also. It also shows the same thing. Aqueous solution is always neutral in nature. Now let us consider the second type of the salt, salt of strong acid and weak base. For example, copper sulfate. So copper sulfate is a salt of strong acid H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, and weak base copper hydroxide CuOH twice. So whenever dissolved in water, it dissociates completely into the ions. So CuSO4 aqueous gives Cu2 plus aqueous plus SO4 2 minus aqueous. Now let's consider the reaction of both these ions with the ions of water. So Cu2 plus ions react with OH minus ions, forming CuOH twice. So this copper hydroxide is a weak base. So this reaction is possible. But further, SO4 2 minus ions react with H plus ions of water and produces H2SO4. H2SO4 is a strong acid, so it dissociates completely. And so this reaction is probably not possible. So ions SO4 2 minus have no tendency to react with water. This is because possible product H2SO4 is a strong electrolyte. The reaction of Cu2 plus ions with OH minus ions form unionized copper hydroxide. So I can write the hydrolytic equilibrium as Cu2 plus aqueous plus 4H2O reversibly gives CuOH twice aqueous plus 2H plus aqueous. Now in this case what happens? Few OH minus ions combine with copper hydroxide, and so equality between H plus and OH minus ions is disturbed. Which ions are removed? OH minus ions are removed. So in the hydrolytic equilibrium you will find that there is a presence of excess of H plus ions. So if I dip blue litmus paper, what happens? Blue litmus paper turns red, showing acidic nature. pH is less than 7. So it is very simple to remember that in the formation of the salt, the one which is strong, that gives the nature. So here acid is strong, so salt solution is acidic. Now let us consider salts of strong acid, the same part. Let us continue. So formation of sparingly soluble salt, copper hydroxide, by hydrolysis makes the solution of copper sulfate turbid. So if H2SO4 is added, hydrolytic equilibrium shifts to the left, turbidity of copper hydroxide dissolves to give a clear solution. To get a clear solution of copper sulfate, addition of H2SO4 would be required. So this is the small part or hint which one has to remember while preparing copper sulfate solution in the laboratory. So before we add water to copper sulfate, always first little sulfuric acid is added and then water is added. And therefore what happens is hydrolytic equilibrium shifts to the left and the whole copper sulfate solution gets dissolved, giving a clear solution. So in all, solution of salt of strong acid and weak base is always acidic to litmus. Now let us consider salt of weak acid and strong base. For example, sodium acetate. Now weak acid is acetic acid, CH3COOH, and strong base is NaOH. So whenever it is dissolved in water, it dissociates completely into the ions. CH3COONA aqueous gives CH3COO minus aqueous plus Na plus aqueous. Now here Na plus ions have no tendency to react with water because what is the possible product? It is NaOH. But NaOH is a strong electrolyte, dissociates completely. So acetate ions combine with H plus ions forming weak acid, that is acetic acid. And so I can write the hydrolytic equilibrium as acetate ions plus H2O reversibly gives CH3COOH aqueous plus OH minus aqueous. Now what happens in this case? H plus ions are removed, equality is all again disturbed, and in the hydrolytic equilibrium we will find excess of OH minus ions. So resulting solution is alkaline to litmus, pH is greater than 7. So salt of strong acid and strong base, aqueous solution is always neutral to litmus. Now salt of strong acid weak base, is always acidic to litmus, and salt of weak acid and strong base is always alkaline to litmus. Remember, base is strong, nature is alkaline. When acid is strong, nature is acidic, and when both are strong, nature is neutral. Now let's consider the last type, that is salts of weak acids and weak bases. Let us consider a general salt Ba, which has weak acid Ha and weak base BOH. So Ba dissociates completely, giving B plus and A minus ions. Now both these ions possess ability to react with H plus and OH minus ions of water, because both produce weak electrolyte, that is weak acid and weak base. And so hydrolysis reaction involves the interaction of both the ions of the salt with the ions of water. So hydrolytic equilibrium is B plus aqueous plus A minus aqueous plus H2O reversibly gives BOH, which is weak, HA, which is also a weak. Now in this case, the nature of the solution can be acidic, can be alkaline, can be neutral. It depends on the relative strength of weak acid and weak base formed in the hydrolysis reaction. Now, if Ka is greater than Kb, so consider this equation again. In this case, both are weak, so we do not know which one dissociates to a larger extent, whether BOH or HA. If BOH dissociates to a larger extent, what will happen? OH minus ions are more over H plus ions. Nature of the solution is alkaline. But if HA dissociates to a larger extent, what will happen? H plus ions are present in excess. Nature of the solution is acidic. So BOH, weak base, dissociates to a larger extent, means Kb is greater than Ka. Weak acid HA dissociates to a larger extent, means what? Ka is greater than Kb. And there is yet another case where both weak acid and weak base dissociates to a same extent, Ka is equal to Kb. So in that case, when Ka is greater than Kb, solution is acidic, acid dissociates to a larger extent. Ka less than Kb, that means base dissociates to a larger extent, solution is basic or alkaline. And when both dissociate to a same extent, Ka is equal to Kb, solution will be neutral. So this can be explained with the help of the three examples. So let's consider the first example, that is example of ammonium acetate, where Ka is equal to Kb. So ammonium acetate has weak acid, acetic acid, and weak base NH4OH. So hydrolysis equilibrium is acetate ions plus NH4 plus ions plus H2O reversibly gives acetic acid and ammonium hydroxide. Now dissociation constant of acid Ka of acetic acid is 1.8 10 raised to minus 5, and Kb dissociation constant of NH4OH is also 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 5. So when these two ions react with water, hydrolytic equilibrium is acetate ions plus H2O reversibly gives CH3COOH aqueous plus OH minus aqueous, and NH4 plus H2O gives reversibly gives NH4OH plus H plus aqueous. Number of H plus and OH minus ions remains the same in the solution because Ka is equal to Kb, and so this solution is neutral to litmus. Now let's consider one more example, that is ammonium cyanide. In this case, Kb is greater than Ka. So which is the base present? Base is ammonium hydroxide NH4OH. Its dissociation constant is 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 5. And which acid is present? Acid is HCN, hydrocyanic acid. It is a weak acid, so dissociation constant Ka for acid is 4 into 10 raised to minus 10. compare the two values. 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 5 is far more greater, that is Kb is greater than Ka. So what is the hydrolysis equilibrium? NH4 plus aqueous plus Cn minus aqueous plus H2O reversibly gives NH4OH aqueous plus HCN aqueous. Now base is stronger than acid. So Cn minus ions hydrolyze to a greater extent than NH4 plus ions. So the two ions react with water as NH4 plus H2O reversibly gives NH4OH plus H plus, and Cn minus plus H2O reversibly gives HCN plus OH minus. Now number of OH minus ions is more than number of H plus ions. So this solution is alkaline. And now the last example is the example of ammonium fluoride NH4F, where Ka is greater than Kb. Now ammonium fluoride includes which weak base? NH4OH, ammonium hydroxide. Its dissociation constant Kb is 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 5. And which acid is present? Acid is hydrogen fluoride, that is HF. So Ka for HF is 7.2 into 10 raised to minus 4. Now compare the two values. 10 raised to minus 4 are greater than 10 raised to minus 5. That means Ka is greater than Kb. Dissociation constant of acid is greater than dissociation constant of base. Now what is the hydrolytic equilibrium? NH4 plus aqueous plus F minus aqueous plus H2O reversibly gives NH4OH aqueous plus HF aqueous. Now acid is stronger than base, so NH4 plus ions hydrolyze to a greater extent than F minus ions. And so the two equations are NH4 plus H2O reversibly gives NH4OH plus H plus, and F minus plus H2O reversibly gives HF plus OH minus. Now since acid is stronger than base, that is Ka is greater than Kb, so what happens? Number of H plus ions is more than number of OH minus ions. So this solution is acidic to litmus. So in case of hydrolysis of salts of weak acids and weak bases, the nature of the solution is acidic, alkaline as well as neutral. It depends on which parameter? It depends on relative strength of corresponding acid and the base. And so this point one has to remember. So students, in this class we saw hydrolysis of salts, and this is how we completed this chapter, that is ionic equilibrium. Thank you.